Hey guys, welcome on back to BK Reviews, where today we're going to be taking a look at my LEGO Hogwarts MOC, which includes 2 towers and the Great Hall. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so I'll take you on a little tour. Here's the first turret. And there's a little bit of the rock detailing. Here's the exterior of the Great Hall, with some more rock detailing. And finally, the last turret. Okay, so that's basically the outside of it, but now let's get into what everyone's really looking forward to, which is the inside. Alright guys, so this is it. You could see that in the left turret, you have at the very top the Mirror of Erised and the Sorcerer's Stone. Underneath that, you have the Gryffindor Common Room. Underneath that, the Room of Requirement. In the middle, the Great Hall. And on the right, at the top, you have the Owlery, followed by Dumbledore's office, and finally, the Chamber of Secrets. So let's start with that left turret. So right here, we have the Mirror of Erised, which is actually from the 2011 set, Attack on Hogwarts. So I just put that in there, and I also added the Sorcerer's or Philosopher's Stone. And yeah, nothing too much going on up there. It's just something to fill the space in the top of the tower. So here we have the Gryffindor Common Room. Now, most of the common rooms that LEGO does includes beds or chairs, and I didn't want the bed part, and I wanted a little bit more than a chair, so I added the Gryffindor couch, and I also added a fireplace and table. Now, as you can see, Crookshanks and Hermione are in there right now, but I'll take the figures out to show you what it looks like. So as you can see here, the couch isn't too much, it's just a couple of Gryffindor chairs, and I didn't have those in red, so I had to use brown. And then there's just some red brick detailing around. I used some studs on the side. And then over here, that's the fireplace in which Sirius uses the Flu Network to speak to Harry. And there's also a table with a letter on it. So now let's get to the Room of Requirement. So there isn't much going on down here. This was just kind of a empty room that I decided to fill. And here we have Harry fighting a practice Death Eater. So this guy spins, kind of like in the movie where they're all practicing jinxing the Death Eater. And in the back I just have some simple blue with some gray to kind of give that aesthetic of the Room of Requirement. So now let's go to the Great Hall. So this right here is the Great Hall, and as you can see, I have a couple people populating it, that being Scabbers down here, Ron in the back, just a random Gryffindor and a random Slytherin. So the table is simply just a couple of plates, brick plates, not like the actual dinner plates, like this one is, but this just represents some sort of smaller plate. This is kind of a platter of whatever is being served, and this is a goblet. There's also one up here at the staff table, and I'll show you what that looks like with Dumbledore and some figures right here in a little bit, but I want to focus on the candles up here and also the flags. Now in the first one, you know, the first one being the first movie, you know that at the end they have their end of year celebration, and it is Slytherin, so you could bring that up, twist that around, and have it be Slytherin, and then after all the points are totaled up, you do the same thing to have Gryffindor. So now I'll show you what the Great Hall looks when it's actually populated. In the top of this tower, we have the Owlery with a couple of birds and a little bit of bird droppings. Now we're at Dumbledore's office. Now on the left you can see we have a brick-built fox on his little stand right there. We also have the pensieve right there, and Dumbledore at his table with a seat where you could easily put a student such as Harry Potter right there. And then also I'll show you what it looks like without Dumbledore in the back. And there's one of the portraits of one of the old headmasters, probably Phineas, I forgot his last name, but he's the one who checks to see if Sirius is back at the Order of the Phoenix headquarters. So now let's go down to the Chamber of Secrets. The Chamber of Secrets was easily the hardest room to get down to a scale that was kind of believable and not micro scale. So here we have the Basilisk, which I'll show you in a little bit. But this is the face of Salazar Slytherin himself. And these little blocks are just kind of detail like the snakes possibly. There are his eyes, and his mouth opens up, which as you saw was holding the Basilisk. So now I'll show you what the Basilisk looks like. So I went with a technique similar to what LEGO did in their Great Hall set. And I used a bunch of mixel joints. I used some cheese slips right here. And then here's the head. That could swivel around. This is actually a bit off of the Spider-Man Homecoming Vulture, because I modded that and this was one of the extra pieces. And you can see the white eyes. The yellow, my bad. And then the big fangs. And you could actually take these out to stab Harry with, and then later the diary. So there's not a whole bunch going on here. I tried to make it big enough so that it was bigger than Nagini, but obviously this isn't the right scale at all when it comes to the actual Basilisk. But that being said, you could still kind of represent when Harry actually stabs the Basilisk. One last thing is that the castle is actually modular. So I made these little connectors, which are simply a couple of Technic bricks on a hinge. And they're actually the same height as the Hogwarts sets that just came out. So I might be getting those for Christmas. I'll show you how I might connect these to that one. But while I wait, I thought I would make my own little mock. So now I'll show you some quick images of how you might want to rearrange this set. So that'll do it for me, guys. If you feel like I deserved it, please leave a like, as that always helps. And also, check out some of my other LEGO mock videos, which you could all find on my channel. That's basically it for me. Don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss a new video from me, which could range anywhere from a LEGO mock to maybe even some props. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But that's it for me, guys. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.